fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Man-at-Arms and Sky Sled from the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe line from Mattel. Now this line is based on the computer-animated Netflix show that debuted a few months ago. And we just have one of these motorcycle sets, which is just a repaint of a character packed in with a motorcycle. And you can see we have this kind of standard open packaging here. Not too much going on with the packaging. We kind of have a cool picture of Grayskull in the background. We have a picture of Man-at-Arms in his normal color scheme here on the front. And then just advertising the power attack feature of the figure. If we spin around to the back, get a little bit closer look at the figure riding the motorcycle. And then again, the power attack is the kind of spring coil that he has in his abdomen, which of course we'll get into in a little bit. You can see here is a picture of the He-Man figure that is also available, which I have previously reviewed, along with the Skeletor that is also available, but not pictured here. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get this guy out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. So here they are out of the packaging. We'll put Man-at-Arms off to the side. We'll start over here with the bike. There's not a lot going on here. It's kind of lightweight, pretty basic design. Wheels spin well enough. You have some separate orange plastic here for the tires. A little bit of silver paint here. You have this kind of nice yellow detailing here. I wish there was a little bit more, like some separate paint for these details, but I get it. The head is made to resemble a classic Sky Sled, which looks pretty cool. You have this kind of large gap here with the two different pieces of plastic, and I don't even really know why it had to be two different pieces of plastic, just the way they made it. It's not like it's two different colors. I would understand if the beak was a different color, and that's why, you know, it's a different piece of plastic, and then they attached it, but it's just, the more I look at it, the more that gap seems to just seem huge to me. But you have some nice paint there for the eyes. You have these guns mounted here. You can move the handlebars in a little bit, I guess, to help with getting the figure on there. And then you can see there's like little kickstands molded on down here, which can kind of help it from falling over, which is nice. And it still rolls pretty well. So it's a decent little bike. It just seems a little bit more basic than the other two. And there seems like there's a peg hole here for a weapon, but he doesn't come with a weapon, which is weird to me. Both the He-Man and Skeletor bikes had their weapons included, but unfortunately, Man-at-Arms does not get the same treatment, which is kind of a bummer. But the figure looks cool enough. I do like the color scheme for him. I will say with this visor, I feel like I can see the head inside a lot better. And the other Man-at-Arms I have felt like the face was too close to the plastic for the visor, so it kind of like smudged his nose, and I don't have that going on here. But I will say this obviously is just some red paint over the kind of dark green molded plastic. That doesn't come through as well. And then he's got separate molded orange hands here, so these are fine because they're just made out of a completely different colored plastic. A little bit of translucent plastic over here as well. So you have the head on a ball joint. You can kind of look up, down, spin side to side. This can kind of rotate around. I think it can go full 360. Yeah, there we go. You have the wrist swivel. No outward movement or anything like that. It's just a swivel. You have the legs, which can kind of kick a little forward. Not a ton of range of motion there. And you can go out to the side a little bit. They're kind of limited hinges. But the big power feature for these is the kind of spring-loaded chest. You can kind of go forward. You can go side to side. So if you kind of put the hands out like this, you can kind of punch. Kind of like the original figures did. You can kind of go forward a little bit with an ab crunch, but that's not as spring-loaded as like going back to front. So anyway, it's a decent little figure. Like I said, I really would have liked to see his weapon included, because I really do like that weapon, and I think that weapon in this color scheme would have been pretty cool. But I will bring in the original Man-at-Arms just so you can do a little bit of a comparison here. Again, really missing that weapon. I think that would have been cool. But the original Man-at-Arms is a lot of orange, so I do really like the color scheme for this new one. And if I can show off, again, what I'm talking about here with the inside of the visor, it's kind of hard to see the face underneath. And it almost looks like the plastic kind of hit the nose, and you see how it kind of smudged there. And I don't know, that might just be a QC issue with mine, but you can see that this one definitely came through cleaner, and I can actually see the face. So, definitely a big difference there. I almost can't see this one at all, and this one's pretty nice and clear. So I do at least appreciate that. Otherwise, they're pretty much the same figure. It's really just a repaint. But I do like this color scheme for him. I really do. Let's go ahead and put him on the bike. So it has these little footholds, but I feel like that's clearly not where he's going to hold on. So we'll see how this goes. You can kind of turn the hands, and we can kind of angle this in a little bit. When he was in the box, he was just kind of tied on. His hands were just tied onto the handlebars. So we'll have to see how difficult this is to actually get these in here. Hopefully it won't be too difficult. And this hand does not want to cooperate. You kind of have to get it in between the fingers and thumb. There we go. Okay, so really it's kind of where the knees rest, I guess. But he rides it well, and it won't fall over because of those kickstands. But it definitely seems like he should have a weapon that pegs in here. I'm trying to see if Man-at-Arms... Yeah, he's got a peg hole, I think, on the side here. Let me see. If I take this, borrow this for a moment. Can this peg on here? Not really. Not really well. So I guess it's just as well they would have had to mold a new peg hole onto this. I was hoping I could use one of these around the top here, but it doesn't really work out that well. So I do wish he came with his weapon, because like I said, the He-Man and Skeletor bikes definitely did. But overall, I think it's a cool design of the motorcycle. I appreciate the throwback to the original Sky Sleds, and I really do like the repaint for Man-at-Arms. I think that looks pretty good. You're just going to have to deal with him not getting an extra weapon. You can, of course, just have him borrow the one from the original Man-at-Arms release if you do have that, but I would have liked to have seen this repainted in this kind of teal color scheme. I think that would have looked pretty cool, maybe with this piece being orange. I think that would have been kind of neat. So definitely missing the weapon, but other than that, it's a pretty cool set. I found mine at Walmart. I've also seen them at Targets, so if you're in the market for one of these, that's where I would check. And I think they retail for either 15 or 20. I'm not 100% sure, which kind of seems like a lot. I think the figures themselves are 10, which I think are pretty reasonable for the figures, making the bike kind of 10 on its own. And for that price, I don't know. At least with this one, I feel like it just feels kind of light, but it works. I mean, it definitely has some nice paint applications. I do like the orange tires here, and it rolls well enough. So I guess it's functional. I mean, I don't know. I think 15 would probably be a fairer price, but 20 is not out of the question. But I'm definitely missing that weapon. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.